And you said it was right across from the ATB, and I knew exactly where the ATB was.
Mm-hmm.
And I was upstairs down by the movie theaters on the Eaton Center side,
Mm-hmm.
and I was sweating, and because I was like moving as fast as I could, and I got down to the ground floor and I was flying basically, like walking as fast as I could,
You were sweating when you came.
and I blew past Nita.
Mm.
She was sitting on the bench right beside the escalators.
And
This is the second cab. Now where the hell is she?
I said,
Because I couldn't see you.
I hide.
And
I hid.
I turned,
I hide.
and she kind of looked at me, and I recognized her looking at me, and I recognized her from the picture, and ding, there it was.
Ding. So the next question is, did you kiss the first meeting?
No,
No.
no,
No.
no. We did an awful lot of talking on our first
We did
meeting.
a lot of talking, yes.
You got a raspberry tea,
Yeah.
and I got a dark Ceylon leaf tea,
Mm-hmm.
and we sat in the second table back from the edge of the store.
Yeah.
On the left-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
There was 2 tables behind us.
Mm-hmm.
There was another couple that was on their first date in the row beside us, and 2 seats back.
Mm-hmm.
And we started talking.
Yes.
And or should I rephrase it? You asked questions,
And you
and I started talking.
Yes.
And
So the next question is, what is your first impression on first meeting in person? Personal. What is your impression now that we met in person?
well, I thought, wow, pretty cute, and but still very, very quiet. Your voice sounded different on the phone than what it did in real life.
Mm-hmm.
The only regret I have is you didn't talk a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
I did about 85% of the talking.
So do you think you like me?
Oh yeah, I was like, ooh, she's cute.
Yes. For me, is yes, I like you as well. In my head, as long as he is the person in the picture he said he is, then I don't see any problem.
So I didn't look like an ogre.
And you came out, oh, he's the one.
I think the other thing that was in the back of my head was like, holy crap, is she tiny? You know, 'cause
Yeah, yes. I was only 100 pounds at the time.
You were very tiny.
Very tiny, size
'Cause
1.
Most of the women I'd been around were considerably like taller and just body structure wise a lot bigger. And so there was like that, wow, she's tiny, but wow, she's cute, you know, and that kind of was always there. I like the sound of your voice. I found your accent kind of cute as well.
I have very strong accent, sorry.
No, nothing to be sorry about. It was kind of a cute accent, and you'd chop your words a little bit, and I think that might have been because you were partially nervous as well.
Yeah, I was.
But it was kind of funny because the messages really mirrored the way you were talking.
Mm-hmm.
Because you didn't say a heck of a lot. It was like 500 words for me to 25 for you kind of thing.
Yeah. So since the day we met in person,
Mm-hmm.
how long before we had the first kiss?
Let's see here. So it would have been almost 4 months.
4 months. Yeah. 4 months.
Almost 4 months. I had, after 2.5 months of dating,
Mm-hmm.
I got my first hug from you.
Yeah, yes.
And that was after we went to Dairy Queen on Stony Plain Road.
Mm-hmm.
And we were driving in my company truck at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, we can park and we'll have our ice cream, but I want a hug out of it. And you kind of giggled and everything, and that was our first hug, and it was like, wow, I like this.
Yeah.
This is good.
So how did you know that I am the one?
You know, that's always the
Trick.
That's always the tough question, because for guys, at least for me anyway,
Yeah.
it's not so much that ding, all of a sudden you know it's the right one.
Mm-hmm.
It's you get to the point where you find that you always want to be with that person.
Okay.
And
Did you have that
and it
feeling?
seems to be gradual where, okay, hey, I could go out with the guy friends and do guy things and go see movies and all that kind of stuff. And it was like, nah, I'd rather go see you.
And you have that feeling.
Very, very quickly.
Uh,
Um, you know, and I felt comfortable with you. It felt from a, because I'm a brains guy, not just a looks
mm-hmm.
type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
And you looked really pretty. I loved your smile.
Mm.
You know, I loved all of that. You know, but there has to be more than just the physical side.
Oh.
Well, there has to be. And if you remember, the day after we met, we went for 3.5 hours of walking around downtown Edmonton, talking
I was
nonstop.
so impressed with your. I was so impressed with your knowledge, at that time, because it's like, oh wow, this guy is very talented and very. Your retention on everything, even 30 years ago, you knew kinda, you still there. It's called stock knowledge.
Yeah, but you know that about me now, and it
Yeah,
hasn't
and now
changed.
it never changed. So it's like very impressive, and I'm falling in love since then.
You didn't say that though.
Yes, I was falling in love while we were walking. I was in awe with all the knowledge and your spontaneity. You're very spontaneous, and it's like it's amazing.
I think
I
the
never
word is
had.
spontaneity. I think the word is spontaneity.
Spontaneity. Yeah.
But I mean, we in that span before the first hug, the first kiss, all that, any day off that I had,
It's with me.
except for one with my 3 older kids,
Mm-hmm.
and the last day before I had to get ready to go back out on the road,
Mm-hmm.
every day was with you.
Yes.
And that started very, very quickly after our second date.
Yeah.
And the neat thing is that I also had your phone number. I gave you my phone number.
Mm-hmm.
And we were averaging 5,000 to 6,000 texts
Yes.
a month.
Yes.
That's a lot of texting.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seemed to be natural where I used to use the term, and I still use it occasionally, where I honestly felt like I knew you for a very long time.
I have the same feeling.
Yet
I feel like
yet it
we're
seemed
very
new.
New, yeah. But
But
the
it was
feeling
like,
is like, oh, why is like this? And I feel like I've known you for a long time.
and that was the way
We
I
both
felt.
have that. We both have that feeling.
And the other thing that was really unique with you, and it really pumped everything up for me, was the fact that there was no pretension. There was no. There was no
I always ask if you are
weird
real.
deviation. Like you weren't trying to be somebody you weren't. 'Cause
I don't want
I told
to be
you
somebody
I
I'm
want
not.
you just to be you. I want to get to know you.
I love that. I love that phrase. When
And I think we were really straightforward on
Yes.
we had both been through, I'll call it, issues or challenges before.
yeah,
Obviously,
but
I had
it's
been
not
through.
that much.
Well, my experience is obviously different than yours because
Yeah.
I was married at one time. I had 3 kids. I had rebuilt my life,
Yeah.
and I had got to the point where I just want to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can I be happy by myself? Yeah, but is it as nice as having somebody to share your life with?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where seemingly knowing you for, like, it seemed like I knew you forever,
Yeah.
but everything was still new. So there was that excitement of seeing you. There was the excitement of holding your hand, which you didn't really like very much at the start.
Yeah,
'Cause
of
you
course.
seemed-
I
it
didn't
seemed
like.
odd to you.
It's because we did not have any relationship yet, and I did not want to be kind of
Yeah.
very close right away without getting to know you first. What if it doesn't work?
If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know, but
So in my head, it's always
I
like
love
that.
the possibilities and the fact that I felt alive when I was with you.
Yes,
I
because you
wasn't-
were dead before.
Well, I kind of felt dead. Well, there's variations of feeling dead. when you're bereft of excitement, where everything just kind of seems like you're just going through the motions,
Mm-hmm.
you're not really alive.
Yeah, that's
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And where it really changed for me, and I felt, okay, this is going right where I want it to be, was the fact that we were so comfortable with each other and we could talk about anything and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no judgment, no drama, no BS to go along with it.
Yeah.
And I felt more comfortable with you than I had with any woman I'd ever been with, ever.
Nice.
Which was, that's kind of a shock to the system.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially when you were, in my case, previously married, where you thought, like, you do the vows and that you're going to be together forever, and it doesn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
Then you second guess everything.
Yeah.
And you made it where I didn't have to second guess anything.
That's true. So the next question is, did you meet her parents or his parents?
I met your mom.
Yeah. But
the first time I met your mom was actually over at Doris and Dindo's place, when they were in their apartment on 156th Street.
Yes.
She didn't say a word to me the entire time other than hello when you introduced me.
Yeah.
The first time I met her, she was doing babysitting of Hannah and Harvey.
Yeah.
The third time was her birthday.
Oh, yes.
You know, and it was.
Mama is shy.
She was very quiet.
Much.
I don't know whether she approved or disapproved, or I didn't know how to read her face.
Mm-hmm.
Your siblings seemed to be fine with this older guy there. They seemed to think that you were very happy, and they seen that I kind of hovered around you in not a stalking, weird kind of way. It was more like, if you needed something, I was there to be able to assist.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that Darna complimented me on afterwards is, you're very polite. Yeah.
Yes, you're very polite.
That's the way I was raised, right? So.
Yeah. And in me, I met your dad, but we were married at the time, so I did not met your dad.
You met my dad before we got married.
Yeah, we were married before I met your dad.
No, you met him before we were married, and then you met him at our wedding.
We are married when we went.
No, he was.
Went to.
Well, yeah. Okay,
Vancouver.
I mean the ceremony thing.
Yeah, the ceremony.
Yeah, you met him in. That would have been July.
Yeah, July.
And we went down to Grindrod, where he was living.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was.
They were okay. My first impression is that they are very polite as well, and very graceful, and very. They're very accommodating with Judy.
Well, the things you told me is that, wow, your dad and you are a lot alike.
Yes.
Because my dad and I, whenever we got together, it was lots of laughs, lots of smiling, lots of not taking life very seriously, right?
It's just nice. It was nice. Yeah.
Judy was quite enamored with you, because you were different than anybody she'd ever met before.
Mm-hmm.
To be truthful, she really did not like my first wife.
Oh.
Really didn't like her.
Oh, really?
And she was quite tickled pink with you.
Oh.
Dad was quite pleased with you as well, because I don't think he liked my ex either.
Oh.
To be perfectly honest, but it was Ron's wife. He has to deal with it. I don't. But yeah, the whole visit down there went off without a hitch. No problems at all.
So the
Vancouver side was more interesting. Just because of Elsie's living conditions out there with her roommate and
Yeah.
the friends that came over and that.
Yeah, but that's okay with that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
The next question is there anyone against your relationship?
Nobody.
Yes, both sides.
Well, no, nobody specifically said that we're against it, but they were passive aggressive about
Yes,
it.
yes.
My brother's wife was quite passive aggressive about the whole thing, talking about the mail order bride and all that
Yeah.
kind of BS that really infuriated me. Darren didn't have a particular issue with the relationship at all. He just wanted to make sure that I was happy. That was his biggest thing. Now, extended family, there were certain issues, I'm sure, on the extended family where,
but no one is saying
but
anything,
nobody
so
would.
never
Well,
mind.
they
We'll
also
leave it like that.
they also knew not to say something.
Yeah.
But the extended family, you could kind of see it take their sideways glances. Where okay, what's the story? How did Ron meet her? You know, that kind of thing. So it was more they were unsure of, okay, well, how do we act? How do we do what we do and things like that, right? It was almost like they thought you spoke a completely different language and that was it. So they didn't even know what to say.
So next is, how long did you propose? How and where?
Well, it was at the Sicilian restaurant just off of Jasper Avenue on your birthday.
Yeah.
So it's November 5th of that year. And I was dressed in tie and dress shirt, and I told
we
you...
both dress up.
I asked you to dress up nice. And I told Nita that I wanted to have a special night out with you.
Yeah.
And we went to the Sicilian kitchen, and I had set it up a couple days beforehand, went in and talked to the owner. A month before, we had went shopping for, just to kind of go looking for rings and stuff.
Yeah.
And you spotted one that you liked, and I immediately, well, the following day, actually put a down deposit on it. And we went there. We had a nice supper. It was an Italian meal. You had...
Italian meal.
I had the veal.
I had the spaghetti macaroni.
No, spaghetti.
I think it
wasn't spaghetti and meatballs, but it was more like an Alfredo, if I remember.
Alfredo, yes.
Yeah.
It is an Alfredo.
So it was probably fettuccine with Alfredo, and I think you had some, like a veal or something with it. I can't remember which meat.
As long as, yes.
And I excused myself. We were almost finished supper, and I excused myself, and I went and set it up to be able to, because it was your birthday, it was the perfect opportunity to get you a nice birthday cake with the sparkles and all that stuff. And I made arrangements for the ring to be sitting on the cake.
Yeah.
And I was freaking nervous because, okay, are they going to drop the ring? Are they going to do whatever? Because I wanted to make sure it wasn't out of my sight, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I had pretended to go to the washroom twice.
Yes.
The first time was to set it up, and then
I was like, are you okay?
Yeah, and that's exactly right. You were worried, like,
Are you okay?
Are you okay? What's going on?
Yeah.
And then they came out with the cake with the sparkler going, and the waitress held it basically at eye level, like I had asked her to. And you didn't even notice. You didn't even notice the ring. You seen the sparkler on it, and you were like, "Oh wow!" And everybody started doing the happy birthday at the start.
Yeah.
And they finished happy birthday, and you still hadn't noticed the ring.
I did not notice the ring.
And I said, "Well, there's something really important for you to see on that cake."
I did not see.
And you went, what? And you still didn't see it. It wasn't until they removed the sparkler. And
it was hidden.
It had dropped off the cake onto the plate.
Yeah.
and I had to get them to turn the plate, and then you went, "Well, someone dropped the ring. You didn't even think it was yours." I said, "No."
Oh yes,
And then
yes,
and then your hands came up to your face. I was like, "Oh wow!"
I was like, wow,
And
I'm going to get married.
I went down on my knee and I proposed to you. The whole restaurant went quiet while I was popping the question.
Yes.
And then you said yes, and the whole restaurant
Clap.
was clapping and cheering.
And cheers. It's like, because it was November and it was dark, so
Yep.
the sparkle is really nice. The ambience is really nice. So yes, that is how Ron proposed.
Yeah.
So we got married in another 6 months later,
Mm-hmm.
and we have our baby a month later.
Savannah, yeah.
Our first child together, and got pregnant in the second baby 4 months later.
Yeah, we got busy fairly quick.
Yeah, very busy. And then October 23rd,
And I kept telling you I want some more practice.
our second baby was born, girl and boy. So the birth of Johan completed our family.
And they were born exactly 13 months to the
13
day apart.
months, yes. So
At the Misericordia Hospital in Edmonton.
yeah.
Both of
Johan,
them.
Savannah, come here. Come here.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
here we
youngest.
are.
Here's the youngest one. Ow! Oh, gosh!
Johan.
Johan. Ah! Oh, you got a good picture of the wall.
Here they are. Here we are, huh? Johan, calm down. There.
There's the two rugrats.
Here we are, completed.
So Savannah is now 10,
Yeah.
and Johan is 9.
Mhm.
Don't call me.
And
Spoiled brat.
Ron has 3 kids. It's
The
just we did
older
not,
ones, yeah.
we don't see them often, and we did not get their opinion, so we did not. So we didn't have any opinion from them. So
Maybe
they're
at a
in
future
good.
time. At a
Yeah,
future
their
date.
future date. Future date, we will have a third.
There's the story for you, nice and short and sweet.
Yes. Here's the story how we met. Bye for now. Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.
You-